actual idiot for going to Chicago during Lollapalooza and not realizing it was Lollapalooza. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It is Dawn Danielle at Soul, and today we are talking about day life in Chicago. So basically how to do Chicago on the cheap. I will show you, I got into the city pretty easily. I'm not gonna baby y'all about, transportation. I feel like I spend 20 minutes talking about the metro and y'all are like, why did I click this video? Once you get to the airport, just follow the signs. Airport leads, there's a metro that leads right into the city. You can buy a flat fee of $5 one way or a day pass for 10, I think. Yeah, 10. And so that basically lasts you, if you buy the pass at 2 p.m., it lasts you to 2 p.m. the next day, or a 3-day pass. So yeah, Chicago has a metro. There's a line that goes straight from the airport to the city. Once you get to the city, find wherever you're staying. I personally stayed in a hostel this time. It was during Lollapalooza. It was during Lollapalooza. So I was wondering why bookings were so expensive because average hostels in the area seem to be about $50. Chicago seems like they only have 4 hostels, no joke. When I went online to check, that's all I saw. So the most popular one I think is run by a nonprofit, and it's in the heart of the city. It's really good. Like, you are exactly where you want to be. Everything's in walking distance. Millennium Park's, up there. Somewhere close by, and a bunch of other stuff is too. But yeah, when I was booking it, prices were raising because of Lollapalooza, but it was still a cool place. Yo, what's up? It's Dawn Danielle at Soul, and I just got to Chicago. I love the city already based on the architecture and just, it's warm, surprisingly, it's kind of like, I packed a lot of leggings and shirts, but it's warm. I could have wore shorts and skirts. Anyways, I just got to the hostel. It's a perfect location. It's right in downtown, and it's near everything. Now, of course, it's not the fanciest, because you can't get location and amazing quality. There's some questionable pieces, and there's this submarine light. So that's cool. But yeah, just your standard hostel. Not bad, definitely overpriced, but like I said, I'm downtown, so I don't have to pay any money on the metro. I used to take in here just because I can pretty much walk everywhere. But yeah, got everything, lockers. It is Lollapalooza weekend, which I wasn't aware about until I booked, and everything was really expensive. And so your hostel experience is always based on the people in your room, and it's messy in here, y'all. It's messy, but hey, I'm gonna spend most of the day outside anyway, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So I'm gonna head out and see what I can find. Also, I was in the middle of recording and I got really embarrassed because I was shaking the bed and showing how wobbly it was, and the cleaning lady just came in. I was like, oh my gosh. But no, literally she just came in and vacuumed. Check some stuff and then left, and I don't blame her. I really don't blame her. I mean, look what she has to deal with. This is definitely the messiest hostel I've stayed at, but because it is Lollapalooza, weekend, whatever, we're gonna let it slide. Anyways, let's head out and see what we can find. I actually made a list of things to do, food I want to eat, and a bunch of cool stuff I want to show you. So I'm actually excited to just not be winging it and rambling. And so today I think I'm gonna do Chicago on the cheap and do a bunch of stuff you can see just walking around, enjoying yourself, and just low, cost stuff, and then get some good food. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Bye. Also, once again, I really want to stress the fact that, shorts and skirts and all that stuff, it seems pretty cool. This is my little outfit. Nothing fancy, obviously. I just really didn't know what to pack. But yeah, it is August right now. and it's super warm. And it's Lollapalooza, so everyone's in rompers and skirts and shorts and just like bras and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go brush my wig because I'm over here looking like Willy Wonka. And sort that out, and then we are going to go real. Bye. So yeah, that's the hostel experience. It was cool. The room was a little messy, but I actually met the girls I was rooming with. They all went to Lala and they were super chill, so I didn't care. And I had to switch rooms after that because of the booking and how everything worked out. Changed hostels because of the reservations and what was available. I thought it'd be bad because it's a 10-bedroom, but there's actually a lot more space. So that's really cool. And up there, gotta go. But yeah, so I stayed in the hostel. So if you're looking to do Chicago, like I guess the main touristy stuff, or just do Chicago on the cheap, you can obviously go to Millennium Park with the giant silver bean-shaped structure that everyone's taking pictures of, but are we looking up what these structures mean, or are we just going to cities and maybe it's just me. I'm really guilty of like not knowing what half these like monuments are, so I do need to do my research. I came across something oddly fascinating about the art world and the artist who made that, and apparently his position in the art world, and a whole bunch of stuff about paint and Vanta Black and pink is pinks. I know this might sound foreign, but if any artists are out there watching, I'm talking to you. I hope this makes some kind of sense. But basically I came across like an article, a super long article about the person who made the bean, and this whole a whole bunch of art world drama. It was so interesting. Something about buying paint, and I didn't even realize paint was copyrighted, or I guess the rights for paint could be sold, but I guess the rights for anything can be sold. So so I don't even know how I stumbled across it, but it was actually so interesting that I read it, and it made me kind of realize I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty guilty of just going around and taking pictures with monuments and not doing my history on them. So yeah, of course you can go to that giant bean everybody likes to take selfies with, walk under it, walk around it, take pictures. There's also the Magnificent Mile, which is a strip, a mile, and a strip of roads and buildings with lots of fancy, shops and structures and architecture lining down the mile. So that also crosses over the river, so you can walk that if you want. There's a lot of cute stuff to take in. So if you're the type of person who just likes to explore and take stuff in, walk the Magnificent Mile. Go to Millennium Park, that was really cool. And then while you're in that area, you can actually go ahead and head to the observation tower. So the observation tower is in the same building as the Signature Lounge. And let me explain this. You are able to, if you want to, you can go out to the observation tower. I think it's $25, and get this gorgeous view of Chicago below and see how high you are. And you can also do what's called the tilt. What is the tilt, you might ask? So if you are afraid of heights, you probably will not be doing this unless you are very brave. The tilt is the upper part of the observation deck, and a section of it, so imagine the panel of windows or whatever, a section of it leans out like this. So here's where the building should be, and it's leaning out. It's glass that leans out, and you're holding onto bars and looking down against the glass, and they're dropping you slowly forward. So yeah, people actually pay for that and do it on purpose. No, I think it's a cool experience, but I'm not even that scared of heights, and I wasn't feeling it. But I think it's an extra $8 if you want to do that. So that's really cool. That is in the observation deck, which is also 360 Chicago. It's also called the 360 Chicago. Inside of there is also the Signature Lounge, which is also on one of these super high floors. I won't get too much into that. I'll cover it in my other video, but if you do not want to pay the 20 something or $25 to get to the observation deck, or if you feel like the price is a little high, you can actually go to the Signature Lounge, which is on 90. There's 2 floors. There's a Signature Lounge, Signature Restaurant. You can access them from below, the first floor elevator, and then one's basically a restaurant you can go eat. Or if you're trying to put your $25 towards like a drink or a dessert, you know, obviously they're overpriced drinks and desserts, but at least you can eat something and you'll still get a nice view of what people are seeing on the observation deck. The only thing is the observation deck, you could really walk around freely, look at what you want to do, and the tilt's there. And for the signature lounge, and it seems like the signature restaurant, you're kind of seated. So wherever you get seated for the restaurant, you know, that's where you sit. And then for the lounge, I didn't get a chance to go in, so I don't know if you're able to walk around more freely there, or if it's kind of a sit and chill place too. I heard the bathroom, the woman's bathroom in the signature lounge has a really nice view. Don't know if somebody can let me know if that's true or not. So yeah, that's definitely an option for you. Millennium Park, walk the Magnificent Mile. On the Magnificent Mile, you can go to the observation deck and go to the tilt, or if you'd rather put your money towards, you know, something to eat, something to drink, you can check out the signature lounge or the signature restaurant in the same building and see what that is like. There's also the Sky Deck, I believe, which is like another kind of like tall building you could look out down on the city. I think they just have, I think it's a cool place to take pictures. My other friend had showed me, and they have like a glass bottom and glass wall, so you can take a picture and it looks like you're sitting out in the city, and they're just like, you know. But yeah, there's that.
You can also walk right alongside the river for a very beautiful view, or you're also able to walk at Navy Pier, which is a very nice area with shops, activities, and lively entertainment.
But yeah, I also stumbled across a market accidentally that was like more out west, I believe, which was really nice. It was, you're able to support the locals, buy some stuff. I don't know how often they do it, but I got a fresh strawberry smoothie, got my energy, and I bought some souvenirs, so that was really cool. I went to Navy Pier as well. Navy Pier was really nice. So there's a lot of cool stuff to do just on the cheap if you're trying to make it a cheaper trip. It's just a lot of walking around and exploring.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's a beautiful day in Chicago. The weather is perfect. I already went to Millennium Park and the Bean, which is like, you know, the super touristy stuff. And then today I'm gonna walk the Magnificent Mile and check out some other stuff, so stay tuned. Another cool place you can check out is Chinatown.
As far as getting around Chicago, I'm gonna be completely honest with you because I don't like to sugarcoat my travels. It was annoying walking around because I kept getting catcalled, and I don't know why.
I am tired of catcalls, and I just got honked at, and I am literally in a full outfit, like.
And once again, I'm not fishing for compliments. Usually when I travel, I just look rough. I'm not one of those cute travelers unless I really put effort into it. I just be throwing on my little Willy Wonka wig and I walk out the house or I walk out the hostel. But I kept getting catcalled. It was Lollapalooza, so people kept trying to sell stuff on the street. And it was just frustrating. Personally, I don't feel obligated to talk to men on the street. And that was a really difficult decision for me to kind of learn because I'm a really nice person. I feel like it's really rude if you ignore somebody, and I know that rejection hurts. But I also noticed that if you engage sometimes, people take that as bait. They're like, oh, she's talking to me. Okay, cool, I'm gonna keep the conversation. And then they get more offended or irritated or agitated if you continue the conversation with them and you're like, okay, I really gotta go, like, bye, sorry, thank you. And then they're upset, like, no, you're nice, you talk to me. You have to entertain whatever it is, if I'm flirting with you or if I'm trying to sell you something. So personally, I ignore people on the street who catcall me. I'm sorry. There's a way to approach it. I just don't appreciate catcalling. Like, people tell you, idiots tell you that you should be flattered and it's cute and it's harmless. It's already stressful to be in a new city, especially if you're solo, and then deal with the anxiety of being in the new city and traveling and trying to figure stuff out, just to find out that somebody's watching you. And then on top of that, calling out at you, hey ma, like, no. It's worse if they're with like other friends or with a group of guys or a group of whoever, or if it's a group of people. It's just intimidating and I don't like it. So I do not talk to people on the street. So I ignored a lot of people walking in Chicago just because you are not obligated to give anybody your attention, because they'll take that and try to who knows what? I don't know what, but like I'm just not a fan. And so personally, I did get annoyed and stressed out at that. You know, and if you think that's like a silly little petty problem, then you probably haven't had to deal with being catcalled on the street or being, you know, I don't want to go as far as saying it's harassment, but it's so annoying. Like, just let people walk and mind their business. I want to see y'all catcall other men as much as you catcall ladies. Tell them they look good. Tell your fellow dude they look nice today. You know, that you like their suit, that they're looking radiant and happy and beautiful. And I don't know, it's just the approach that I'm not a fan of. So that's the one irritating thing I noticed with Chicago, was that just people calling out on the street. And I actually think it was like not as bad because Lollapalooza was happening. So the streets were extremely busy because of Lollapalooza. And I think it would have been worse or more irritating or kind of like anxiety inducing to be walking around if it wasn't for the fact that there were like hundreds of people just walking around. That's the only thing. Personally, I don't find it flattering. I get irritated with it, but that's just me. Maybe some people like it. I personally don't, but that's the one thing I noticed with Chicago, where it was just like you feel eyes on you, and then when people call out, it confirms that eyes were on you. And it's not even this like eyes are on me. It's like, oh no, people are watching me, like, you know, like really. And this is the middle of the day. It's the middle of the day. That's the weird part. But it's not everywhere. It was just certain areas. It was near my hostel for some reason, and that was the like touristy, well-known part. So it is what it is. But other than that, I really do like Chicago. The city is beautiful. I'll talk about it more in my overlap video. Chicago gets too much hate, but I love this. The city's wonderful, really. And there's a lot to do for cheap and just explore and stuff like that. But check out my other video if you want to hear about my experience in the bathhouse. And some other cool stuff that I did that, you know, I splurged a little bit on. But yeah, that is all. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.